Hey, in this lesson, I'd like to discuss how can we create this type of infographic data type effect. So the idea behind this is to create a globe and hero data connecting with other data. So it's not very complicated, but it has layers to it. So let's actually see how we can create this type of data effect. So here I have the sphere with some normals and UVs placed to it. So this way I could visualize my globe. All right. The effect is split onto three parts. So here's the globe effect. Here's the lines effect, the connection effect, and here's the data itself. All right. So starting with the globe, so here I have add some remesh. Uh, I use the noise animation, and I promoted my color from point to primitive, split in my primitive, okay, and use the color as the um, driver of the effect, okay. So starting in play, here's apply the quick shade, how we see the effect. All right, the second one we have some points, a lot of points scattered. Um, Again, I'm using some noise to deform our points, and here's the appearing. So here in custom attributes, so we have a color which we delete according to the color. Okay, we are deleting the darker points. Next, I'm adding my texture to the color and just adjusting the colors, just give it like shiny look, because I will not render this in this lesson. um, all right, the second one, it's just again here I'm using my texture um, and using its luminance value added to the ramp, and this way I'm excluding this brighter values where I'm simply removing again the black values of those points. This way I'm just layering on top, okay, and adding some noise, so it would wave. Here I'm adding some color and yeah, adding some colors, just run over the sphere, okay. And here all of the effects just placed on top. As you see, we have those white values, which I would probably do a transform a little bit just to stay over, okay. And also you can see those triangulated sphere under the point layer. This way we have nice looking globe, okay. Second, we will have a look on our lines that form our globe, okay. Here I'm using the same sphere. It's actually the same sphere with a little scale. And in this case I'm using rows. In this case I'm using columns. but we're using the same uniform scale added to it. Okay, this is a center point which we'll use to connect our to create the connection between those curves. Okay, so here I'm doing a resample and I'm adding a custom attribute like a point ID which is 1, and here I'm using point ID which is 0. So like 0 and 1 we create a curve. Okay, all right, so for each primitive we're doing a curve animation. So here I have my curve being animated, and here I'm using the same animation data, but in this case I'm using point animation, and I'm deleting the static point and keeping the animated one. Here we're merging, since we have like a point ID, we're using actually we are having only one point, but we can use like this attribute as well. Okay, both of methods are valid in this case, and here I'm also creating an animation of that point. All right, and by using the 0 point, I'm copying my sphere onto it. It would be probably right to give some animation also to the sphere, just to appear in time and disappear as well, not just like without any animation, just which looks a little bit strange, but as an example I think it will work fine. Alright, so then I merge all of these three, so this type of animation we have in the end, and also using the metadata and in the time shift I'm creating this the lag effect. Okay, so it like it has some time shifting, not at once. Which also okay in some cases. Okay, so this kind of a interesting effect we have. The same goes in here, but in this case, yeah, I turned off the time shift, so I'd like to appear at once, which so now I have like two examples which uses and the one that doesn't. So connecting them both, we have this kind of effect. All right, add some color just to give it a glowy look. All right, so this is our second layer, and the last one will create our connecting lines and data geometry. All right. So here I'm scattering some points onto our sphere, and here's the sphere itself. So what we're doing here, here I'm creating a placement for the hero object to be used, and I'm scattering a few points, which is secondary data or connecting data, I should say, and I'm using this for each block as well, and using the same method as in here to connect all those lines. Okay, doing some resampling and adding a color. by using this small expression. All right. So using the point number attribute, I'm creating this gradient, and we have this. Now just the cleanup, using some points and using our sphere to actually array our lines to the sphere. Okay. And here I'm using the color to extend, to just push our lines outward of the sphere, of the globe. So I'm using like a point position, which I'm adding a normals to it and linking to the point, and I'm multiplying it by color that we created here as a multiplier. So we have 0 pushing here, but maximum pushing in the middle. Okay, so this type of look we have. And next we are creating this the curve. Okay, and by time shifting, using the metadata and time shifting, where we create a sphere input and putting our metadata here, and using this expression, which will give us again, like not all at once, but with time offsetting for each primitive separately, and then coloring. This is the overall time shifting, just to match the overall effect. Okay, this is the last time shift that I'm creating. Okay, and next, again, I'm merging all those points, but here for our hero, the main data geometry, I'm creating this attribute called main, which is 1, that I could separate later to use like some custom materials. All right, so here I'm merging them all together, just a coloring and pushing it as well. So here I'm using the color just to because I'm using the same color multiplied by normal, which is add to the position, and I put it back into the position. Here, if I turn off the color, as you see, they kind of they're pushing away too much. This is why I'm adding some smaller values of the color, just to push it not that far. Okay. Okay, so here I'm creating this attribute that we have used in the previous lesson to create a custom attribute that will link to the past, where we have our images. Okay, since I'm not going render on the rendering phase in this tutorial, you can just watch the previous lessons to get an idea how it works. Okay. But as a complete lesson, I will simply keep this attribute in here, so you can just open the file and just check it for yourself how it works, in case you lose the track of or something is just misunderstood. All right. So there's some attributes being created, and here's the thing. I'm using the camera and um, I'm subtracting the position of the camera position and point position, and then I'm using it as a normal. This way I'd like to have my have my uh, cards to look to face the camera all the time, right? Wherever I will whatever I animate or put my camera this way, where I look always into the camera. Here I'm deleting the attributes, in this case UVs, because I have a custom UVs applied to my grid. Alright, then for each block, using for each point, and here I'm animating the P scale, which will animate our cards in this case. Alright, and yeah, and the first part is in this block is done. The second one is we have again we're using our globe to rear points onto the sphere, because we have them like being pushed out of the sphere, and here we're rearing them back, and here I'm transforming attributes from here, which is the main attribute in this case, I think. Okay, let's say we have it here. All right, let's see. So here I've created very fast by using two circles that merge and reverse, some transform, and here, what is here? Okay, checkpoints. I'm creating custom attribute so I could isolate them from this block later on. Okay, then I'm copying it onto the surface. If I disable this one, all right. Here we are attribute transferring our normals, so we could just face correctly. All right. So this is why we use it. So and here as well, I'm animating my P scale. Also, I could use simply this animation, but probably just to be able to like offset animation a little bit. So let's say we have, so in this case we have them together, appearing together. Okay, I might do it like offset it a little bit. So checkpoint and the card. All right, and time shift just offset all of the animations. All right, so here we're offsetting them. Then I'm promoting my image attribute that I'd like to add those random images. In this case, we could use those face images from previous lesson that we have created, okay, or anything else. So next, I'm here I'm isolating the hero object that I'd like to concentrate, something like this. So we're showing our data, and here we are having the rest data that we would like to work with. Okay, so here I'm time shifting yeah, as you see, I'm time shifting the cards. I want them to appear later, and here are checkpoints. Yeah, we're merging them together. So as you see, checkpoints and cards as well. So I didn't have any need to actually to offset this animation. I have done it here. So yeah, here are checkpoints and cards. Coloring them to the blue and merging everything together. So this way we have some main data, connection lines, and the secondary data. Maybe I should just put it back so we could have our lines reach the point and then animation to get started. Okay, this is looks much better. So this is the overall offset, and here I've done a test which I'll show later, but overall effect that we have seen before in the beginning will look like this. Okay, of course there's a lot of things to be fixed, like timing especially, and probably slower animation, just to get it a little smooth, or maybe those points to have also some animation here especially. Okay, but as an example, as the overall process, I think it looks good. All right, and the last thing that I'd like to show, in the previous lessons I mostly use the principal shader and in the rendering, but this time I wanted to use Karma material as the let's say where we have okay here here I'd like to apply those this material to this data to just to test, like if I see those random images on these cards by using the current material and the new data transferring type. So here, as you see, I'm using the current material, and I don't know why it's giving me this mistake, but I use the primary reader, and I'm using the string with the image attribute applied to variable name. Okay, it's asking for u string instead of a string attribute type. But for example, let's say I will disconnect it and promote it to a variable. So here I'm promoting to a variable, and it's giving me the string attribute. Well, I don't know what's an issue, but let's say I will use this this parameter, and I will change it to an image, and change to file string. Oh, let's go back to string. Okay, the single image works fine. This streak doesn't work. I don't know, but in this case, if I connect this one, it works okay. All right, and the thing I was trying to actually to get to is that whether I can render with the XPO, but no, I couldn't get it rendered with XPO, but CPU works fine. Well, yeah, that's about it. This is all I'd like to share in this lesson. Hope you find it useful. If you like it, please subscribe to see more lessons on this channel. And also, I'd like to thank all my supporters. Thank you very much. It really helps me a lot. Thank you very much. Good luck and goodbye.